Hello, my dear students, and welcome back to Science. Last time in the lesson Substances in Common Use, we have learnt about some of the important salts in daily life. Now, today we are going to learn about certain crystalline salts which contain water of crystallization. So let us see which are those salts which are used, which are having the water of crystallization. So we use a variety of salts which contain water of crystallization, such as alum, then we have borax, Epsom salt, then we have barium chloride, sodium sulfate, and blue vitriol. Okay, now let's see each one of them. So these are the substances which are containing water of crystallization. I've mentioned to you about water of crystallization last time. Let us now study about the properties and uses of each one of these salts containing water of crystallization. So first one, beginning with the alum. So alum, you know, it is alum and burnt alum is used in medicine. It is also used in paper industry to give shine to the paper. Okay, remember this. It is also used to in the paper industry to give shine for the paper. Right now, you might have seen your father or the elderly person, male person, especially when while shaving and all, when there is a cut and all, people use alum so as to stop bleeding from the wound. Suppose there is a wound, to stop that bleeding, alum is used. Okay, because it has certain medicinal properties. Okay, fine. So also you know that you have learned in the previous class and that it is used also in the process of purification of the water. Now, how it is used in the purification of water, let us try to know that. Okay, now because this alum, now when it is added to the water, okay, which is very turbid in nature, what happens is that it is having property of something called as coagulation. Now, when the water is murky or dirty, it consists of lot of solid impurities. Okay, and because when alum is added to it, what it does is that it coagulates all these impurities, solid impurities, and once it coagulates, they become heavy. These solid particles which are there, solid impurities which are there in the water, they become heavy and then settle to the bottom. So as a result of this, what happens is that it helps in clearing the water. It helps in purification of the water. So see how many uses are there of the alum. Okay, alum, as I mentioned to you, alum, burnt alum is used in not only the medicines, but it is also used in paper industry to give shine to the paper, also used in healing the wound in the sense whenever there is a cut and the blood is flowing, so to stop that bleeding also alum is used. And finally you have learned that it is used in the purification of the water, especially in the well water and all, alum is put to purify the water. Fine. Now this is regarding alum. Now let us go for the next one, that is borax. Okay, borax, it is also used in cosmetic industries like in the lotions, preparation of shampoos, and even for the cold cream, manufacture of the cold cream. Then not only that, but it is also used to remove the stains from the cloth in the laundry. So you might be wondering how laundry people are cleaning their clothes. So it is nothing but the borax what they are using, and borax is, the formula of borax is sodium borate. Okay, sodium borate is the formula of borax. So it is, as I have mentioned to you, it is used in cosmetics, for lotions, then even it is used to make shampoos and cold creams, whereas it is also used to remove the stains from the clothes in the laundry. Then in the laboratory, with the help of the borax test, okay, basic elements from the colored salts are determined. Okay, some colored salts, suppose there are different types of salt, some of them are white in color, some of them are colorful salts. So like for example, blue vitriol. Blue vitriol is nothing but a copper sulfate salt. So which is having a blue color. That is what is called as blue vitriol. So this borax which is there, it is used in the laboratory to determine what are the basic elements in these colored salts. Okay, so this is another use of the borax. So again I'll repeat, what are the uses of it? Cosmetics. In cosmetic industry it is used in lotions, shampoo, as well as for the cold creams. Then it is used in the laundry to remove the stains. Thirdly, in the laboratory, with the help of the borax bit test, it is used to find out the basic element from the colored salts. So this is regarding the borax. Then we have, next one is the Epsom. Okay, next one is the Epsom salt. Epsom salt, commonly it is called is Epsom salt, but it is magnesium sulfate. It is used in the manufacture of fertilizers. Okay, remember it is used in the manufacture of fertilizers. Not only that, it is also used to enhance the green color of the plants and vegetables. So the market, when you buy to go to when you go to the market to buy vegetables, okay, you find so many colored full vegetables, and green vegetables especially, we like those green colored vegetables. So to enhance the color of these green vegetables, what is used is Epsom salt, that is magnesium sulfate. Magnesium sulfate is its chemical name, and commonly it is called as Epsom salt. Okay, so this is one of the second use. First one is used in the manufacture of fertilizer. Second is to enhance the green color of the plants and vegetables. Then thirdly, it is used as a body scrub. Okay, that means you can use this Epsom salt even to scrub as a body scrub. You can clean your hands. Okay, also used to in the water bath to relieve the muscle pain. So it is added to the water bath to relieve muscle pain. If you have muscle pain and all, you can buy Epsom salt from the market, put it in the bathing water, and then you can have bath with that. So whatever muscle pain and all you will have will go with the help of Epsom salt. Fine. Next one is barium chloride, where barium chloride is used. So it is used in the purification of the brine solution. So if you remember, last time I've mentioned to you about brine solution. So brine solution is nothing but it is the saturated solution of sodium chloride. Okay, earlier in the previous video I've mentioned to you about the brine solution, right? Then it is also used in the water wastewater management. Then it is used in dye industry, then ceramics, oil purification, and also in the pest used as used one of the component of the oil purification. Is that clear, students? So again I'll repeat, what are the uses of barium chloride? It is used in the purification of the brine solution. Brine is nothing but the saturated solution of the sodium chloride. Okay, it is used in the wastewater management. Whatever waste is thrown out from the wastewater is thrown out from the factories and all, to manage that. Okay, to treat that water. Okay, what is used is barium chloride is used. Fine. It is not only used in water waste management, but even in the dye industry. That is, dye means dyes are the compounds which are used for substances which are used for coloring the clothes. They are called as dyes. So they are used in dye industry, ceramics, oil purification, and even in the manufacture of the pesticide. So remember about the barium chloride. Then we have sodium sulfate, where sodium sulfate is used. So sodium sulfate is used in the preparation of detergents. Also used to make the paper pulp in the paper industry. Then used in the dyes. Is that clear, students? So these are some of the uses of the sodium sulfate, that it is used in the preparation of detergents, used in making the paper pulp in the paper industry, and also it is used in the manufacture of the dyes. Next is blue vitriol. Blue vitriol is a common name for copper sulfate, that is CuSO4. Okay, CuSO4 also consists of the water of crystallization. Fine. So, what are the uses of this blue vitriol? So, blue vitriol is a very important compound which is used in the blood test to diagnose anemia. Okay, anemia means, what is anemia? Anemia means, I have already explained to you when I was teaching you sickle cell anemia, about anemia. So, to test, to find out, the whether the person is suffering from anemia, the blood test can be done with the help of copper sulfate or blue vitriol. You can see the color of the copper sulfate here. Since it's blue in color, it is also called as blue vitriol. Fine. Then it is added along with blue vitriol, that is copper sulfate, and the slake lime, that is calcium hydroxide, can be used together in the Bordeaux mixture. Bordeaux mixture is the mixture which is used as a fungicide. Okay, so Bordeaux mixture comprises of two things. One is blue vitriol, second is slake lime. Slake lime formula is CaOH2, that is calcium hydroxide, is also called as slake lime. So when both of these chemicals are added together, it forms a Bordeaux mixture. So this Bordeaux mixture is used as fungicides on the fruits like grapes and muskmelon. So this is regarding all the different types of the salts. Now we have learnt now all these salts consist of water of crystallization. That is, we have learnt about alum, borax. Then we have learnt about Epsom salt, barium chloride, and sodium sulfate, and lastly is the blue vitriol or the copper sulfate. Fine. Now let us go for the next part of the lesson, that is soap. So what is a soap? First of all, you should know that it is prepared from the when animal or when oil or animal fat, okay, is boiled. Okay, so for preparing soap, you remember what is used. You can either use oil or you can use the fat, okay, animal fat, or sometimes vegetable fat also can be used, and what is done is that they are boiled together. Okay, they are boiled with an aqueous solution of the sodium or potassium hydroxide. Okay, and you are getting sodium or potassium salts of carboxylic acid, also called as fatty acids. So this salt are also called as soap. Okay, so these salts are also called as soap. So when soap is mixed with the hard water means which water now? So hard water is the water which consists of the magnesium and calcium salts of sulfides and carbonates, as I mentioned to you yesterday. So this hard water, if you use them to wash the clothes, you cannot clean the clothes. It's why it is with the help of soap. Okay, why is it so? It's because mixing soap with the hard water results in the formation of calcium and magnesium salts of fatty acids. And once these salts are formed, since these salts are insoluble in water, what happens is that they form the precipitate. That means, it's like a curdy thing which is formed, and that there is no leather formed inside, and that is why, since there is no leather formed, the stains does not get cleaned up. So soaps also can be prepared in the laboratory. Okay, fine. So before going to the next part of the lesson, again I try to make you understand how soaps can be prepared. Okay, for that you require animal fat or oil. Okay, and this animal fat or oil should be boiled with aqueous solution of either sodium or potassium hydroxide. Okay, and then after that, after you boil it with these sodium and potassium hydroxide, animal and oil, what you get is sodium or potassium salts of carboxylic acid. So carboxylic acid, commonly they are called as fatty acids. Okay, so these salts are formed, and these salts only of the sodium or potassium salts of carboxylic acid or fatty acids are also called as soap. Is that clear, students? Soap cannot be used in hard water to clean the clothes. It's because it forms the insoluble precipitate. Okay, and that insoluble precipitate which is there in the water cannot remove the stain. That is why in hard water you cannot use the soap to clean the clothes. Okay, now next thing is the question is there in your textbook, which chemicals and apparatus will you use in the laboratory for making soap. So let's see what are the chemicals are used in the laboratory to make the soap. First thing is the vegetable oil or the animal fat. Then you require next thing is sodium or potassium hydroxide. Okay, sodium hydroxide solution. Then require common salt, beaker, Bunsen burner to heat, wire gauge, tripod stand so that you can keep that wire gauge, glass rod to stir, spatula, a filter funnel, okay, and the filter paper. So all these are the things which are required to make the soap. Let us see what are the differences between a bathing soap and a washing soap. So a bathing soap, how it is prepared? It is prepared by using high grade fats and oil. So here, since it's a bathing soap, it requires high grade fats and oils. So cheap wala will not do here because it is the matter of your skin, and it can bruise your skin if something else low grade fats and oils are used. Therefore, in making the bathing soap, high grade fats and oils are used, whereas in the case of washing soap, low grade fats and oils are used. So this is the first difference between a bathing soap and a washing soap. Secondly, for preparing bathing soap, potassium hydroxide is used, okay, whereas washing soap, sodium hydroxide is used. Okay, in washing soap, sodium hydroxide is used. This is the second difference between the two. Third thing, bathing soap is free from the alkali, and therefore no injuries is formed for the skin. It prevents injuries to the skin since it is free from alkali, whereas washing soap contains free alkali content, and because of which what happens is that it can remove the stain from the clothes. It is having free alkali content. Alkali means sodium hydroxide is called as an alkali. So since it consists of the free alkali content, it can easily remove the stain from the clothes. Next, in the case of bathing soap, what is used? Expensive perfumes are used. Bathing soap, when you just take like this near your nose, you can sniff. You will get a nice fragrance of the soap. It's because here expensive perfumes are used, whereas in the case of the washing soap, cheaper perfumes are used, because here we do not require any good smell for the washing soap. It's required only for the bathing soap, so that you can have a nice bath, and after coming from bath you will get a nice smell. Now next is let us learn about what are what are detergents. Okay, what are detergents? You know that detergents are either in the form of a powder or it may be in the form of a liquid. So a substance either in powder or liquid form used to remove the dirt from the clothes is called as detergents. So how it is different from the soaps? It is because it has a different formula, and therefore it is you can see how the clothes can be easily washed with the help of detergents. Okay. Now here what is used? It is the detergents are sodium salts of long chains of alkyl benzene sulfonic acid, or sodium salts of long chain of alkyl hydrogen sulfate. Is that clear, student? So this is regarding the how are the detergents prepared. Okay, so detergent, what are detergents? So we have learned in this video today about some of the salts which consist of the water of crystallization. Second, we have also learned about the soap. What is the difference between the bathing soap and the washing soap? Fine. We have also learned about what is meant by a detergent. Now for your homework, what you have to do is that you need to write down about each the uses of each one of the whatever I spoken about, the some of the crystalline salts which are containing the water of crystallization, their uses and properties. Next is the difference between the soap and the bathing soap, and the washing soap. Is that clear, students? And even write about water detergents. So this is regarding today's video. Next time we are going to learn about what are radioactive substances. So till then, students, bye and thank you.